Hello everyone, this is Brad Wood, and welcome to our new series, What's New in CommandBox 5. We released CommandBox 5 a couple weeks ago, and it has a lot of great changes in it. I covered most of them in the 5.0 release candidate blog post and the final blog post, but I wanted to do a few screencasts just to kind of cover all of them. So this first one isn't really a demo of anything per se, it's just talking about the fact that we have a lot of new libraries. In fact, the new libraries are the main reason that I went ahead and did a major bump for CommandBox 5. CommandBox 5 is very backwards compatible with CommandBox 4. In fact, for the most part, you can just drop it in and use it. As far as libraries that we updated Wirebox, which is used behind the scenes in the CFML layer, to version 5.6.2. Jline is the library that we use as a Java library for reading and interacting with the console. That's updated to 3.13. Runwire is an internal library that deals with all the internal servers that you start. So that used to be in the 3x series, and we've bumped that up to the 4.0.3. Also, Undertow, JBoss Undertow is the servlet container that we deploy all of your servers on. So that was in the 1x series, and we've updated that to 2.0.27 final. So that is a major update. I don't believe there's been any backwards compatibility that we've run into with that, but that is a major update for Undertow. JGit is the library we use in cloning Git repos. That's been moved to 5.5. They always have the longest version numbers ever. As you can see, they work the date in there as their build ID. Lucee was updated. We were stuck at 5.2.9 for quite some time in CommandBox 4, and we couldn't get past 5.2 due to some regressions. But we did update to Lucee 5.3.4 in CommandBox 5. There are a couple small differences in there. I show this as a major bump, even though it appears as a minor bump, but the way Lucee treats its versions are the minor versions. They'll make backwards compatibility breaking changes. So 5.2 to 5.3 is a fairly large release. The major change that I know about in Lucee 5.3 is the output buffer defaulting to off. So if you're starting default servers, that you may run into that. Also, one of the big changes in CommandBox 5 is finally the ability to support Java 11 and onward with the CLI. So the JRE included versions of Lucee now changed from bundling Java 8 to bundling Java 11, and we're still using the adopt OpenJDK builds. You may be asking, what about Java 13? That's technically out. We're sticking with Java 11 for the time being because Java 11 is the LTS, or long-term support version. So for right now, adopt OpenJDK 11 update 6, which was the latest when this came out. So those are the library updates inside of CommandBox. For the most part, you probably don't care about most of them. Most of these libraries are tucked neatly inside of CommandBox CLI, and you don't really even know or care what they're there. The Java one has more likelihood to affect you if you're running Adobe ColdFusion 2016 or higher, or for your servers, or Lucee 5.3 or higher for your servers. You can just use Java 11 across the board. This helps cut down the size in our Docker images, since we don't need to bundle Java 8 for the CLI and Java 11 for the web server. Everything can be on Java 11. I did want to show a really quick demonstration of the info command. If you look here in the command box, we've had the info command for a while. Oops, my caps lock is on. I always hate it when I yell on the CLI. So in addition to the cool ASCII art stereograms, we do have a handful of versions in here which can be useful for debugging. Only one of these is actually new, but they're all useful. So the version of CommandBox you're running shows here. Of course, my local source code is symlinked to the Git repo, and I have this the placeholders. You would actually see a real version number in there. You can find in here the path of the CommandBox binary you're using. That may seem kind of obvious, but sometimes people get multiple copies of CommandBox on their machine and they get a little confused about which one they're running, especially if they're unclear what their path is resolving to. So this will tell you where the exe was that you used. Your CommandBox home is typically your user home directory. You can see in my instance, I point it to a random folder with a space. I actually do that on purpose to route out any bugs in my code that involve file paths with spaces. But this will show you where your home is pointing to, which can also be a tricky thing that trips people up when they're unknowingly running CommandBox under root on a Unix operating system. They don't realize where their CommandBox home is actually pointing. The version of Lucee that's being used also shows up in here. This is my local machine. You see I'm playing around with a snapshot version of Lucee. That's not actually what shipped in CommandBox 5. It's just me doing some testing. The version of Java the CLI is using will also show up here. It's worth noting that if you start a server and you don't specify a Java version or a Java home, it will default to the same Java installation that the CLI is running on. We also show you the path to Java itself, just in case you're unclear on what Java installation on your machine CommandBox is picking up. So this is the path where Java lives. We also throw in the username of your operating system, just to help you determine whether or not you're running as root or running as a different user than you expect you are. You probably don't care about the JLine terminal. This is just kind of a reference to what operating system you're using. Sometimes if you have problems with the ANSI formatting, the colors and such, that can be useful for debugging. And then we've also added the version of runwar, which is the library behind the scenes that starts the servers. And that's mostly, again, just for debugging. So if someone reports a problem, I can say, hey, run the info command, let me know what version of runwar you're on, and I can determine if their problem is related to that. So those are the new versions of the libraries in CommandBox. Here's how to get some more information on them if you would like. And other than that, look forward to more screencasts coming soon in the series, and I will talk to you later.